Hey everyone, it's been a while, but we're back with another review. We just saw Glass. I'm Angus,
I'm Zach.
and I guess before we get into this movie, we should probably. How do you feel about the other two films?
Unbreakable is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. I thought Split was really good, but I didn't like the twist at the end that, like, when David Dunn showed up at the end, I thought that was kind of pointless and forced in. But when I saw the trailer for Glass, I actually kind of had high hopes for the movie.
Yeah, I think this actually had really good trailers leading up to it.
The first trailer that they released, I think it was at Comic-Con, was really, really, really good. Really well done. After watching it, it's messy. It's okay. A lot of problems with it.
Oh yeah,
But
this is one of those movies where it's messy, but not in a way that made me dislike the movie.
I don't hate the movie by any means, but it's just like I think. Well, you mentioned it before we started recording, but like it's mainly advertised as like a sequel to Unbreakable, but it feels more like a sequel to Split.
Yeah,
Like David Dunn's character, who's, if you haven't seen it, that's Bruce Willis's character in the film Unbreakable. His whole character arc in this movie is almost the same as it was in Unbreakable. It's just like
he's really just sort of there.
He's there, and like after like he gets captured and committed to this facility, like the doctor, Sarah Paulson's character, like starts trying to convince him, like, oh, you're not a superhero. It's actually just made up. So he's just like, oh, okay. And then at the end, he just kind of realizes, like, oh, I am a superhero. Okay, cool. But that's basically kind of like the same thing he went through in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Like, it was Samuel Jackson, or Elias, trying to convince him that he was a superhero, and then he's, like, being dismissive of it, and then finally coming to realize that, yes, he has these powers.
Yeah. This movie definitely suffers from, like, repetition.
Yes.
And it uses some flashbacks kind of weirdly to their childhood that are kind of unnecessary because they don't add anything. They're things that could have just been said through dialogue, and instead they're used to take up extra screen time.
Yeah.
Because each of the three guys has a weird flashback kind of thing when they're talking at one point.
Because it shows the scene of when David drowns. That's when he finds out his weakness is water, and then it's James McAvoy's character,
his mom attacking him.
Yeah, and then what was it? Elias on a Ferris wheel breaking his bones.
Yeah, so there's definitely some unnecessary stuff in there. And I think I said this to you as soon as we walked out of it, but I really, really dug the first 30 or 40 minutes of this movie. I thought it was really solid, and for the first 30 or 40 minutes I was trying to figure out, I guess, where all the criticism was coming from. Because I was like, on a technical level, this is great so far. It's shot well, I like the soundtrack, I like the whole feel that it's going for. It felt like Unbreakable in terms of tone, like it was trying to do that again, and I dug that. And then it started to get messy. It sort of loses its footing at a certain point, but I thought it had a really solid start.
See, even that, like, I found, like, the beginning and setting everything up was very, I don't know, it just felt like odd and weird. Like the opening scene with Bruce Willis's character and him. It was the overseer. He's being this character. He's following a bunch of people that just attack an old man out of nowhere and film it and try to post it on YouTube.
Yeah,
and it just felt really awkward. And then like, he owns his own like home security store, and there's this really awkward interaction with him and his son and M. Night Shyamalan. And like that, I don't know, it just felt tonally out of place and just felt very goofy and lighthearted.
Yeah, but it's M. Night. He had to get in there because he's important.
But it felt weird. And then I think as the film did get a lot messier, I did kind of start warming up to it when Samuel Jackson showed up. Like
because for the first half of the movie, he's just sort of restrained to a chair.
Yeah, he's like in like a comatose state. Like he's very just like out of it, and then you find out like almost at the beginning of like the third act that he's just been kind of playing them. That's when he like reveals himself to the beast and stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess I mentioned it before, but on a technical level, I really liked this movie for the most part.
It's very well shot.
Yeah, no, I thought the cinematography was great. We saw it in IMAX, and it looked really nice. I think all of the performances, apart from, like, Bruce Willis kind of phones his performance in.
He just seems really bored.
I think everyone else is good, though. James McAvoy is obviously the show stealer. Like, he was in Split 2. This is his movie.
Yeah.
The way that he's able to switch between the different characters and whatever is awesome. Like, killer performance. I also really liked Sarah Paulson in this.
Yep, she's really good.
I thought she was really cool. Didn't like the twist they did with her.
No, me neither.
But I did really like her character, and I found her really interesting.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why Bruce Willis just seems bored is that his character really isn't given much to do in the movie. He doesn't really...
Well, that's
could have been written out.
A lot of the faults with this movie aren't necessarily faults with the acting, or even with the directing. Honestly, a lot of the time, it's faults with the writing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the script should have been edited by someone.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said this about M. Night, but he needs someone to edit his scripts for him, because the films of his that are the tightest are the ones where, as far as I know, he had the most help with writing. The ones when he gets 100% free reign and writes whatever the hell he wants are the ones where it kind of goes to shit. And I think this was sort of more of the latter.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely him throwing a lot of ideas at the wall at once and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, definitely. I found the fight scene, there's like two different fight scenes between Bruce Willis's character and James McAvoy's character, and I didn't expect like any like a Marvel movie action scene, but like the way they're shot, it's like it's like just kind of like shoving matches, and they're filmed like right in the person's face, so it was really awkward and not really engaging at all.
I was actually going to mention that when I was mentioning the cinematography. There's a lot of POV shots in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. And, like, it's a cool trick the first couple times they do it, but then you realize they're going to be doing it every single time there's a confrontation of any sort. The one use of it that I actually thought was really cool was towards the end, when the Beast was crushing that dude, and they sort of had the camera fall down to the ground at Elijah's feet. I thought that was actually a really neat use of it. That was one of the only times where I was like, oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Or the first time the Beast shows up, too, it was a neat way to shoot from the ceiling and have him run forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was mainly what it was used for, was when the Beast was interacting with people. It was always like a POV kind of cam thing.
Yeah.
And it's effective sometimes, but it's definitely an overused tactic in this film.
Did you want to talk about the twists at the end of the film?
Sure. I dug 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
It's the one in the middle that threw me. Because I liked the idea that David was on the same train as Kevin's dad.
Yes.
I thought that was a cool way to tie the two together and somehow have a reason why Elijah wants them to get together kind of thing, and he knows so much about them and whatever.
Yeah.
That was cool that he like sort of created both of them. And then I liked the final twist, which was the fact that he secretly recorded everything and wanted to prove to the world that superheroes are real.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting ending, and it kind of... It felt like a nice, I don't know, a closing note. Even though it's technically speaking opening things.
Yeah.
It felt like a nice closing note to sort of be like, now other people are aware of it, rather than just the 4 characters in this movie or whatever kind of thing. Because the other movies focus on a very small group of people. And I like that this one sort of opened it up right at the end. Although I hope there's not a sequel.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to see another.
I don't want a sequel. But then the twist that bothered us both was with Sarah Paulson's character, Ellie Staple there, that she is actually a bad guy.
Yeah.
And working for some shadowy organization that...
wants to...
What was their plot? They kill superheroes by making them kill each other?
Well, not even necessarily that, but just kind of like hiding the truth from people. Mainly just more hiding the truth from people that superheroes don't
Yeah, it was really... It was a little weird. And it kind of just like tosses in this weird bleak note to have the climax of the film just sort of go that way. It was really, really strange. And it just sort of, I don't know, it felt out of place and unnecessary. Like, it would have been fine if just the other 2 twists were there.
Yeah, definitely.
You can still have all the characters die if you want, like, just have them beat each other up bad enough that they all die. But it felt really weird to have, I guess, like, creating another villain at the end.
Yeah.
Suddenly. Yeah. And I also have to point out at the end, I pointed it out to you as soon as the movie ended, but the last shot in the film, or not the last shot, but the shot when the 3 of them are sitting on the bench, was noticeably out of focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was bothering me, because it looked like, it was obvious that it was shot in one continuous pullback kind of thing, but it was cut multiple times, so it cut away. So I don't understand why they wouldn't use a better version of it. Because when it's close, it's very clear that the left side of the frame is like fuzzy around the edges, and the right side's very crisp. And I don't think it was supposed to be that way because it's 3 characters sitting on a bench. Yeah. But then as it pulled back, it came into focus. So I don't know, focus puller goofed. Yeah. But you got anything else you want to add, or?
No, nothing really. I think we covered. Yeah, I covered basically everything.
I mean, this is the best thing that's coming in January so far.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and all the other options like Escape Room or The Upside. Yeah, so
it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. This could have been a train wreck.
Yeah, like from what I've been hearing and stuff like that, and like I was thinking the worst, but in terms of how like what they did with it, it wasn't that great. But I mean, like it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Oh yeah, I've seen some people trying to compare this to like The Happening and saying it's like his worst movie and all this stuff, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's
nowhere close. Yeah. I guess summing it up, you want to do numbers or?
Sure. Might go up, but like I'm probably just gonna give it a 5 out of 10 right now. I wasn't mad at all, but I found I was never really invested throughout the entire movie. It had me at parts, but then it would lose me again. So yeah, it was okay.
Like I said, I actually really enjoyed the movie for what it was, and I would actually like recommend seeing it. I think it's worth seeing if you've seen the other two. I think it's honestly even worth seeing if you hadn't. Like, it's probably just an entertaining kind of popcorn January movie. It definitely gets real messy toward the end. It gets messier the longer the movie goes on, but it's better than anything else that's out right now. So I guess go see this if you want to see anything. 6.5 ish. Might go down to a 6. I'll just leave it at that for now. Could go down, but It's definitely not M. Night's worst, but it's nowhere close to being any of his best, and Split and Unbreakable are both a lot better than this.
Yeah, absolutely. You haven't seen any of those, go check them out.
Yeah, for sure. Go check out The Sixth Sense, too, because that movie's really good. But I guess that wraps it up. I'll leave our social media links in the description, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.